my father was an attorney. We've got other attorneys as friends and other relatives, and they're kind of famously resistant to adopting new technology. So, how do you get attorneys who are, kind of see themselves as practitioners, not business operators, to kind of embrace this, this tech automation platform?
Yeah. So it's a good question and something that um, so again, I mentioned we identified this as an opportunity in the market back at my case. And this was back in like 2013, 2014. And, and so like, well, why didn't we just build this into my case? Right. The market wasn't ready kind of for that reason. Right. They're slow to adopt technology and they need to really see the value. So if you fast forward to like 2017, 2018, what you started to see in that period from like 2014 to 2017, 2018 was just a massive shift. Legal had gone like marketing, right? They had started to understand we got to market on Google. We got to, we actually have to spend money on marketing in order to get clients now. It's not just all going to come from referrals and things like that, right? And so with that shift to more spending money on marketing and thinking about it as a business, now all of a sudden they need the tools to support that, right? And so the problem needed to exist before we could provide the solution, even though the problem was there before, but it needed to be front and center in their mind. And as soon as lawyers start spending money on things, they want to make sure it's working and they want to know what's happening. And as the market became much more competitive, and it really became much more competitive, especially consumer driven law firms like personal injury, estate planning, family law, bankruptcy, right, immigration. These things became highly competitive from like 2017 up until now. Um, and in that environment, in order to survive, the law firms have to rethink, right? They have to adjust and become more focused on the business and less on not less on the practice of law, but in addition to the practice of law, they need to focus on the business. And so they did
Well,
that.
and
And so providing the tools was just a natural
Well,
course.
and you're right because it's gotten at least I'm in the Philadelphia market, and it has gotten obnoxiously competitive. Especially between the very big guys here, the multi-state guys that are everywhere. Um, they're consuming so much of airwaves and brand space in market that it's really it's quite amazing that the little guys can even keep up.
Hmm. Yeah, and I, a lot of them can't. Um, lucky for lawyers, like, and I think we tend to think when we think lawyers and we think marketing, we think advertising, we think personal injury, right? Because that's what you see. Like you see the billboards, it's what you see the ads for. But there's so much more, obviously. Um, the good thing for those guys, even the little guys, like those cases can be pretty large, right? So they can still survive. But a lot of them are not. And there's a whole new thing in legal where they're called MSOs and ABSs, where now like non lawyers can have law firms. And that has created the wild, wild west, right? You've got like investments, you've got like Floyd Money Mayweather has a law firm now, right? And they create these law firms like in Arizona, and then they can be just basically marketing engines where they just drive leads as a law firm and then send it out to a real law firm to handle. So everything has changed. And like with all of this focus now on getting business, right? Well, you need a tool like Lawmatics. You have to have something to manage your leads, to automate the process of responding to them and converting them ultimately.
Yeah.